Nearly 140 of the most dangerous and brutal prisoners at Mexico's maximum security prison, including the biggest names of the drug trade, say they are being housed in unsafe and inhumane conditions. Spoiled food filled with worms and rocks, poor medical attention, being held in dirty cells for 23 hours a day, and unsanitary conjugal visits. These are a few of the complaints. Mexico's National Human Rights Commission is now facing the responsibility to deal with new allegations of violations by federal officials. The complaint, ironically, is signed by over 100 of the country's most vicious and famous criminals. This is happening at the prison known as El Altiplano, located very near Mexico City, one of the safest prisons in Mexico where, to date, no one has managed to escape. The prison has a population around 1,200 inmates, 200 of whom are considered high risk or dangerous. Nick, isn't this ironic? We have the most bloodiest of the criminals in Mexico saying that they're being treated unfairly.
And inhumanely. People who are drug dealers who've probably killed a lot of people, who know exactly what they're doing, who probably know people in Altiplano, probably friends and bosses. They probably heard of what it's like. They continue to kill people. They continue to do these kinds of things. And then they get there, and now they're pissed off, and they complain about their conjugal visits not being sanitary enough. It's ridiculous. And Altiplano has a really good or bad reputation, depending on which side of the walls you are. Yeah, but speaking of the walls are like 4 feet thick. I mean, that's why no one's escaped. It's a hardcore place. Exactly. Worms and rocks don't get into food by accident. I don't care what B grade they have, C, D, F. Rocks don't get, and worms don't get in food by accident. This is a crazy prison, and they know it, being drug dealers, that they're going to end up in a place like this, and then they get there and they want to complain.
This prison was made exactly because all of these drug cartel leaders were able to escape. So they built this prison where the cell transmission is restricted, like you said, 3 foot thick walls, overhead space is restricted, regular polygraph tests are given to all personnel. But let me drop some names for you guys. Joaquin El Chapo Guzman, at some point the most wanted drug trafficker in the world. Edgar Valdez Villarreal, also known as La Barbie, a US citizen actually, that became really famous because of his videotaping of the torture sessions that he gave out to victims and opponents. And Miguel Ángel Félix Gallardo, known as El Padrino, the godfather of Mexican drug trade. A bunch of murderers, rapists, round up this list, which makes me very interested in this story, is the fact that some of these drug kingpins are actually opponents. And they are getting together on this petition. People that otherwise will be killing each other, now they're coming together and saying, let's rally around the fact that we are not getting the right conditions, which is BS completely, because it's well documented that the privileges that these guys have inside the prison are off the charts. So it makes no sense what is going on, but what is scary is that they are teaming up from the inside of this prison. Granted, this prison is made for the communication not to go out easily, right? But still, they are getting in touch, they are collaborating, which is kind of scary.
But little sympathy, if any, is going to come to these guys, given their history. I bet right about now they're probably wishing that they did all these crimes in Venezuela. In Venezuela, there's a prison that apparently has a club and a bar in it, and a strip club. I don't know if it's true. I've seen pictures of yeah, but you know, what are they expecting? I don't understand. You know,
and that is the question. And we want you guys at home to help us out decide in the comments, please. Do these criminals retain their human rights as prisoners or not? Because these prisoners are some of the deadliest assassins that have worked not only in Mexico but also in the US and have killed US citizens, Mexican citizens, and maybe people from the rest of the world. So let us know in the comments, do they lose their rights as humans when they become prisoners because of the actions they took, or they should be respected and treated with dignity? Let us know what you think, and if you haven't, please subscribe to the Lib TV.